Hey peeps, Patrick from GameStunt. Now today we're gonna bring you some general tips and tricks for beginners and advanced players. Also some things you might not know that you can basically do in the game. Now me and gamer Tommy basically bought an Xbox Series X to play the game Starfield. We came from No Man's Sky on the PlayStation, but now we're playing Starfield on the Xbox. Now it is a really good game, it's really addictive. It's got a ton of content in there also for building, so basically if you came like from a game like No Man's Sky like I did, the game is gonna be pretty good, you know. Also a lot of gaming sites I saw are underrated it like big time. They gave it like a 7 out of 10. For me it's at least a 9, you know, for this game. Just the sheer amount of content and building options in the game are really crazy in here. So yeah, let's go and check out the tips and the tricks that I'm talking about that I can give you in the game. Now the first tip I'm going to give you guys: make a lot of manual saves. I mean, every time you're going into an outpost and you're like pretty far into the outpost or the base or facility, basically make one, because you can basically load your saved game every time and it's gonna start you where you basically saved it. So for instance, I died a couple of times when I was like pretty far into a facility and I had to go back to the last checkpoint, where there were some irritating and hard enemies I had to fight again. Now that's not the only reason, because there's like a lot of gear that's basically randomly generated that you're gonna get inside of chests. Like for instance, gamer Tom get like one outpost there where he gets a couple of legendaries, where I get like normal gear. So before you like open chests and stuff like that, make sure you do like a manual save, then open them, see what you get inside. If you're not happy about it, you might like re-roll it from another load save game. It's not the only thing. Like for instance, when I did the Razor Leaf quest, the Mantis one, at the ending basically you get like one of the best gear pieces you can get. Basically it's all legendary gear and it has like different stats on it, and it depends on when you're there what you're basically gonna get, you know. So for instance, for me, I got different things than gamer Tom would get in there or other players. So if you make a save point right before you're opening those chests, you can basically reload and re-roll your game saves and see what you can basically get out of the chest. There's gonna be some better stuff in there. Like I remember doing the second loadout, it was pretty bad. I wasn't like happy with the things I got, so I basically kept the first thing I got. So hopefully this is helpful. Now the next tips are gonna be basically hiding your contraband or selling your contraband. Now the thing is, you're gonna see those things a lot, you're gonna come across them a lot if you're a little bit further into the game. Now you can always go to the wolf system that's pretty near where you're starting. It's really close, and there's a space station called the den right there. If you go to the den, you can basically sell all of your contraband there, but the problem is the price is limited, so it only has like 11 or 12k right there that you can basically spend on you. If you keep on selling all your gear there, you're basically not gonna get any money out of it anymore. So what I did was I built the base, and when I build a base, I hide my contraband there. I just put it inside of one of the buildings and it stays right there. Now if you want to build a base, you're gonna need a good planet to build your base on. And what I found was that I went to a moon called Admirphon in the Narion system. It's near the planet Sumari. If you go there, basically you can get helium, iron and aluminum there. Now those three components are like the most used components you're gonna need to build your base part. So it's gonna be for like helium is for the power generating. You're gonna need aluminum and iron are just for the components or the most used items there. That's why I basically built my base there. Now also it's a really chill environment there. There are no animals are attacking you. There are not too many space pirates I saw there. So it was a really good base for me for building my base. Now for the next tip I'm gonna give you is for a skill. It's the skill that I wish I had earlier in the game, and that's lockpicking. Because I can't emphasize enough how many times I went back to an outpost just to go and pick some locks there, because a ton of the best gear or like weapons are like stored behind those locks. Like almost every outpost you're gonna visit is gonna have like a lock there, so you want to have that skill to unlock those right there. Now the next tip I'm gonna give you is about fast traveling. Now you can basically fast travel anywhere that you have visited already before. The only way you can't fast travel is basically if you're having too much weight on you. or when you're in combat, or you're like inside of a cave. That's like the only places you can fast travel from. For fast traveling, I would always take like another crew member with you, because if you're like over encumbered, and that's gonna happen a lot, like if you're like more in the end game, it's gonna happen a ton of times. You're basically 80% of the time I'm like over encumbered, so I've got too much weight on me. But then you can basically swap out some of your gear pieces to your crew member, and then you can basically fast travel back. It's a really good way to visit like other space stations. For instance, if you want to work on your ship and they've got like some building components you want to do there, you can basically go and fast travel between those. Now, while I'm talking about building your ship, I'm gonna give you some destinations where you can go early on in the game for like making some ships, building some parts, or like buy some other ships if you want to. Now, the first one you're gonna find is basically where you start off in Alpha Centauri in Jemison. You just go to the spaceport right there. Now there's a guy with headphones that's standing in front of your ship, and he's with a helmet on. Basically, this guy, if you talk to him, you're gonna be able to like change the components on your ship, or like upgrade it a little bit and stuff like that. Now the second place I would say where you could go that's pretty near is in Aquila in Cheyenne. So it's basically the Cheyenne system. You go to the planet Aquila. There you can also change it. Then Sol, or Sol, it's basically Spanish for sun. You can go to Mars, to Sidonia, and there in Sidonia you can basically also change your ship. Then the next one is gonna be Vault 2 in Neon. That's also pretty accessible in the beginning. It's a little bit further out though, but you can already go there in the beginning. And then the next one I would go is to Paradiso. It's the favorite place that I would go because it has like a lot of building components that I tend to like there, but it's a little bit further into the game. It's also the level there, it's level 30, so if you see some spacecrafts there, some enemies, you might be having some trouble there. What you also can do is like basically put your engine down to like level 1, and then everything like your shield, your weapon system, just put it on 0, and you fly really slow. Then they don't detect you there, and then if you go in, you can basically go to the planet right there. Now you're looking for guys with headphones most of the part, except for Paradiso. In Paradiso, it's just a guy who's holding a piece of paper in the sand or something, and he's just standing there. But most of the guys where you can basically change your ship parts are wearing headphones and have like a helmet on or something like that. Some you can basically find in the first building that you see, that's the nearest to where the landing space is for your ship. So yeah, make sure you check out those places if you want to do that right there. Now that was it for the video, peeps. If it was helpful in any ways, please do remember to leave a like and a sub. Keep yourself safe, peeps, and I catch you on the next one. Haters.